Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Avery Mooney out here in Albuquerque, urban farmer. So we've got some pallets here. I'll explain why. And we'll go over some stuff here, what we did today. Our chickens all hanging out back over there in the corner. So the pallets here are for our chicken coop. What we're going to do is we're going to be extending this. We're essentially going to take this whole section, which is right here. This is the coop, and we're gonna raise this up and put these pallets in a nice little square onto the base here. And we're going to enlarge our coop here because we have some exciting news for us anyway. We are going to get on the 15th from our one of our local feed stores some Americana chicks. So these lucky ladies who are 4 and getting to be less productive in their egg laying are going to get some chicks to look after, and they'll be very happy, I'm sure. And I'm wondering which ones are going to fight over the babies, because they will actually steal babies from each other. They will. And the buff Orpington, who's the gold one back in there, if you guys can see make out any color, she's kind of she's mean. She's kind of the one that'll take them. The one that I'm really hoping that would get some chicks is the one that's in front of them all, the Americana. She's that red one. But we're going to get Americana chicks, and for those of you who don't know what Americanas are, it's a breed of chicken that they're not the max layers like buff Orpingtons and Rhode Island Reds are. But they're fun. The reason they're fun is because they lay multicolored eggs. Each chicken will lay a different colored egg, and I am of the opinion that depending on their diet will depend on what intensity of color the egg will turn out to be, or what shade of color it will be. We've gotten in the past. We had a gold Americana, and she gave us either violet or really like light blue, almost pretty much sky blue eggs. They were really pretty. So we're hoping to get some more chicks, maybe about 4 or 6. And we're going to increase the size of our coop. Now with the chickens that we have here, I don't know if I've mentioned in the past, but we have the buff Orpington, which is that gold one sitting closest to the stream, and then the Americanas on the other side, and then behind so the black and white one that's closest to us, she is the Plymouth Rock. And then hidden behind all of them, I'm sure you can kind of just barely see her behind the Plymouth, is our Rhode Island Red. And I looked into these breeds. The Plymouth and the buff Orpington are really kind of the max sort of layers. The buff Orpington is supposed to lay somewhere close to like 200 eggs a year, and the Rhode Island Red is supposed to be close behind, along with the Plymouth. The Plymouth and the buff Orpington are also chickens that are supposed to be good for eating. They have nice big breast muscles and everything. They're bigger chickens. The Rhode Island Red is kind of along the lines. She's a little smaller, as you can probably see, than the Plymouth Rock and the buff Orpington. But they're almost, you can eat just about anything. I mean, they're just a little bit smaller, so you're just going to get a little bit less meat off of them in comparison to the buff Orpington and the Plymouth Rock. But all chickens are good to eat. I mean, chicken is chicken. But the bigger they are, of course, they're more like specifically bred for being meat. But we don't eat them. We're keeping them for the eggs. They're getting to be quote-unquote old bitties, so they're not producing as much. That's usually about 4 years, and depending on the stress level of your chickens and what they're eating will depend on how much they're laying. These guys have it pretty good. They've got a heater, which is really just a light bulb underneath a ceramic pot inside of their coop, and then there's insulation underneath the shingles here. And then of course they have shingles, and then they have hay. They have about a half of a bale of hay, or a quarter or so of the bale of hay inside of their coop, and then they have all of this hay that has come from multiple bales. This is not just one bale of hay piled on the side to reduce any kind of extra cold air. So there's no drafts or anything. So these chickens are pretty well kept. The cold weather will affect your chickens laying, along with how hot they get. So these guys are pretty comfortable because we've been getting pretty consistent eggs. They have actually plenty of space. They have a run of the garden right now. At the end of their run here, they do have a hole, and I'll go and show you guys that. I'll show you guys their little exit they can get out of their run from. And this is some of the excavation work that we've been doing today. We've been trying to level the dirt and make the ground in the backyard a little nicer. Dancer's enjoying some of the freshly dug up dirt. We got rid of the pallet fort that used to be here. And it's no longer there. It's taken down and over here. But let me show you the rear exit for the chickens so that they can come and go as they please out of their run here. As you can see, they have plenty. They can come and go as they please. They are not at all confined to their little run. They can, if they choose to have the brains to come out, and I've already shown them a hole once, so it'll just take them to decide, I think we'll come out. Hey, Pharaoh. He came out from the dog house that was donated to us by a neighbor. So that's so the pallet fort for the dogs is gone. And this ground is going to get leveled out here. And some of this dirt right in here, I'm going to move over this way so that there's more, the rest of the dirt is sloped over here. We're going to put, like what I've got here, I'm going to put more dirt along this area here to help support the concrete and keep that there so it doesn't move or shift. And also to try and funnel any rainwater that happens to come down, because it usually does pool over here in this area. So I'm hoping that I can slope this enough in the right direction to come down over here towards the apple tree and what's going to be our corn and squash and everything in our earthship garden is what I'm going to call it, what we've been calling it. We've taken, there's 10 tires here. We did 5 in the center over here, and then we just put 2 off the side over here. But it makes a nice little barrier. I have a cat wiggling around my arms because he doesn't want to be the way I want him to be, and I don't really appreciate what he's doing with my hair. But it's nice and secluded. This has gotten some water. We just decided to start watering a little bit to hopefully invite some wood lights, or mites. What are they? Wood louses. Wood louses, that's what they are. Roly-polies, in other words. Roly-polies. And earthworms to come and break down some of the leaf litter that you can probably see in these tires. And this is where all of our beans and squash and some of our melons and our about probably 4 or 5 corn plants are going to go. So we're going to have corn this year. We're going to fill in this hole. But so far it's looking good, and I will put up more updates on how the yard is going and everything, and one day I'll make a video about explaining what the heck this thing is. But I will give you guys an update here very soon. You guys have a great day. Thanks, YouTube. Please subscribe and hit the bell to get the most recent videos from Urban Farmer from the Moonies. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. Bye.